come up to me, Greg, and say all the time, oh, Essence changed my life. Well, if a magazine could change your life, you never met an Essence editor, you're just meeting me for the first time. And if a magazine that comes into your house once a month can change your life, we go to conferences that change our lives, we go to worship service, why can't we enter schools? Why can't we enter places where our children and our parents are struggling?
Welcome back. We're with veteran journalist, writer, and editor-in-emerita of Essence, the legendary Susan L. Taylor. We actually have a picture of you when you were 17 years old. I want to bring up this picture of a young Susan at 17.
Frustrating my parents, having dyed my hair. Imagine, 17.
You said you'd frustrated your
16.
You were 16. You said you'd frustrated your parents because you dyed. So that's not a filter. That's actually you dyed your hair.
That's right. That's right. That's
what
my
do you wish someone
hair.
had told you at 16?
That life is really a journey, and that you have everything you need to take this journey, to live it, to walk it, to be who you want to be, but also know that there are going to be times when you lose your way, but only to find a better way.
Wow.
There is no time when we go through any experience. When my first marriage broke up, I mean, I was devastated. I went from being a middle class, even maybe a little upper middle class wife with a baby to a single mother almost overnight. But for that, I never would have met Kefra. I wouldn't have become the independent person that I came. I wouldn't have been able to build as I did with the team at Essence. So what I would have told my younger self is that everything is in divine order. Wow. Learn to love what God made.
You have your team here from CARES.
Yes.
You've said that you believe that young people are in a crisis, sad to the bone. How do we help save them?
You know, I was talking to my granddaughter about this the other night. She's mid-20s, graduated from Spelman, super smart.
Yeah.
Okay. And Amina says, we're all sad because the lives that our parents have lived, we believed in the American dream. We went to school, we did what we were supposed to do, we tried to behave, and now we can't afford to pay rent. We have to live at home. You know, we can't afford to buy the car that we want. We can't afford to take the trips. We'll never be homeowners. Yeah. So the American dream has evaporated for us. Yeah. And we're sad about that, sad to the bone.
How do we inject resilience and joy then through mentoring into the young people who have a life to live? We don't want them to give up.
Right.
We want them to find their dream. It doesn't have to be in a four-year university. It doesn't have to be in a technical college. It doesn't have to include the picket fence, but it can include joy. Because at the end of the day, we all deserve that. So how do we infuse that into them through mentoring?
You know, I think, too, what Lisa said earlier. Gratitude makes everything that you have more than enough. And we have to give thanks for the lives that we have. Yeah. You know, but again, Amina was saying, you know, listen, I should be grateful. I'll have a nice little apartment, I have a roof over my head, but I can't afford to do anything. Yeah. I don't have the money that I need to live my life. Well, get another job. Oh. That's what I did. Yeah. Before I went to Essence, I actually worked in a little bodega store up in the Bronx.
Well, like Lisa said, the girls are working in the deli.
That's exactly right, you know? So money things, as you mature, at 80 years old, I know what's important. Yeah. I know what's important right now. Coming to this space, you believe that the things that you acquire, we have so much stuff. We have to have little compartments along the highway. I have stuff over there, storage everywhere, because we have too much stuff. I'm decluttering my mind. I'm decluttering because in this front row right over here, you know, these are the folks who are really holding it. Our president Renee and Shannon and Reggie and God knows Cheryl. Yeah. So they're handling the gala. There's always another way. And I think it's in the quiet time, Tamron, when we are still, that inner wisdom speaks to us. You know, I was so depressed at one point that I thought I was having a heart attack. Wow. I ended up at Columbia Presbyterian Hospital. Doctor said, you're not having a heart attack. This is an anxiety attack. Wow. I left there. I started walking up Broadway. This is in New York City, y'all. I looked up and I saw a sign that said United Palace, church service 3 p.m. I sat down, and I heard a sermon that changed my life. This minister, he said, God is alive in you. Now, I grew up Catholic. So growing up Catholic, I thought that the Holy Spirit lived in the sanctuary and that the nuns and the priests had the direct line to the Holy Spirit, to God. Nobody ever told me there was anything sacred about me. That's not what we learned. The next day I woke up and I said, okay, I'm going to be still. I got an idea. I'm the beauty editor at that time at Essence, and maybe what I should do is call up the Ophelia DeVore School of Charm and ask if they would like the beauty editor to come and maybe teach the wannabe models how to put on their makeup and do their hair. I was a cosmetologist. That changed my life. They said, oh, we'd love to have you. That led to my becoming the fashion and beauty editor.
Wow.
With that, my salary increased, because I think I was making $300 a month at Essence.
Wow.
That job at Ophelia DeVore School of Charm increased my salary by 40%.
Wow.
I could breathe just a little bit. There is always a way. But what we do is we look out there. What we need to do is just do this.
Wow.
What have you come to teach me? What is this pain about? This pain that I have in my stomach, is it what I'm putting in my mouth? This pain that I have in this relationship, is it that I'm speaking harshly? Yeah. Or I'm allowing somebody to demean me and speak to me in a way that I know is inappropriate? Yeah. But at 80 years old, you find your voice. You find your voice.
Well, at 80 years old, you find your voice, and the gift of that voice is what you are giving through mentoring. And I should point out, I'm so honored. I will be emceeing the For the Love of Our Children Gala on March 2nd here in New York City. For more information on National Care's mentoring movement, head over to our website, TamronHallShow.com. We'll be right back. Oh.